Mountains have claimed countless lives over the centuries, but some stories stand out as particularly haunting, like the 1929 disappearance of a Standard Oil executive who tried to conquer one of the world's deadliest peaks with nothing but book knowledge and raw determination.
That's quite a setup. What makes this story so different from other mountaineering tragedies?
Well, it's the tale of Edgar Francis Farmer, who, despite only having basic climbing experience in the Rockies, secretly plotted to climb Kanchenjunga, the world's third highest mountain. He went to extraordinary lengths to hide his true intentions, even signing official documents promising not to enter Tibet or Nepal.
So he deliberately misled everyone about his plans. That seems unusually calculated.
Exactly. And here's where it gets fascinating. His personal notes revealed he had studied mountaineering extensively through books. He wasn't just being reckless, he had this methodical obsession. But you know what they say about a little knowledge being dangerous?
I imagine the local authorities would have tried to stop him if they'd known his real plans.
Oh, absolutely. That's precisely why he kept it secret. He assembled a team of experienced Sherpa and Bhutia porters, some who'd even been on Everest expeditions. But get this, they made camp at the exact spot where another climbing disaster had occurred in 1908. They even found the graves of those previous victims.
That's incredibly eerie, finding the graves of previous climbers. What happened next?
Well, on May 26th, things took a dark turn. Farmer was properly equipped with warm clothing and crampons, but his porters weren't adequately prepared. When one porter slipped on the treacherous ice instead of turning back, Farmer made that fatal decision to continue alone, just to take photographs, he claimed.
You know what strikes me about this? The complete disconnect between his careful planning and this reckless final decision.
Right. And what happened next is truly chilling. The porters watched him disappear and reappear through the mist until 5 p.m. They stayed at camp all night, desperately signaling with electric torches. The next morning, they spotted him one last time, and this is where it gets really disturbing.
What did they see?
They described him moving wildly on a high snow slope, arms outstretched, like someone who had lost all control. Many experts believe he had been struck with snow blindness, which would have been essentially a death sentence at that altitude.
That image is haunting. How long did the porters continue searching?
These incredibly loyal porters stayed for nearly 2 more days, until hunger forced them down. They were so desperate they had to trade a traditional Tibetan coat just for some corn to survive the journey back to Darjeeling. You know what's remarkable? When authorities investigated, they interviewed each porter separately, and their stories matched perfectly. Every detail, every timeline.
That level of dedication from the porters is extraordinary. What drives someone like Farmer to take such an enormous risk?
That's the fascinating psychological aspect of this story. Farmer had the ideal physical build for climbing, plus undeniable courage and determination. But there's this dangerous gap between academic knowledge and practical experience. Even today, with all our modern technology, Kanchenjunga maintains one of the highest fatality rates among major peaks.
So in some ways, this century-old tragedy still has lessons for modern climbers?
Absolutely. And here's the thing. While equipment and safety measures have improved dramatically, the basic human elements haven't changed. The allure of the mountain, the way obsession can cloud judgment, the fatal mistake of overestimating book knowledge versus real experience. These are still claiming lives today.
That's quite a sobering thought about human nature remaining constant despite technological advances.
And perhaps the most poignant detail is that he was his mother's only son. His body was never recovered, becoming just another soul claimed by Kangchenjunga. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the bravest thing isn't pushing forward, it's knowing when to turn back.